Nice to see everybody. It's Tuesday and it feels like a Monday. What can I say? Hope you're all doing well, and as you jump on, let me know that you're here. We are going to use two different stamp sets. We're going to use the Happy Camper, hence the name Springtime is Camping Time. So we've got Chippy, that's what my design team called this guy. He's holding a bag of chips, and we've got this one that has, my nose is itching, sorry. And then we have this guy here who's got the s'mores, and we've got some marshmallows. We said, got a caution sign that says, don't feed the bears. And then we've got, hello Lisa, a fire and a picnic basket. And then I've got this cute guy who is our lumberjack. And he's got a bunch of logs here that he can chop, and a little wood chuck. And then I think I've got this backwards, so it'd be helpful if we could actually read it. It says, rock your axe off, damn good day to celebrate, timber I've fallen for you, and would you be mine? So I've used this a couple of different times for different things, but you know it's Tuesday and we need to do our craft roulette cards. So to play along with craft roulette, we had to do a card that has 2 or more folds. It has to be jelly bean flavored or colored, excuse me. You have to use markers and you have to use math. Guys, the math. Hi Judy, how are you? Who in the world knows what to do with the math part of it? So I figured we measured some of this. So in order to make an A to Z fold card, we cut it by, I can't even do my math. 8.5 by 5.5. We scored it 4 1/4, and then again at 2 1/8. So we've got the math, and I probably did that backwards. And then I matted the things. But let's get a little bit more, creative with our math maybe. And we are going to use rays. Remember back in, junior high, high school, when you actually had to learn the lines, the segments, the rays. So a ray would be like where there's a dot, a line, and an arrow. But why not use the sun for a ray? Am I right? So we are going to pretend that we're using spicy jelly beans for our colors. And there's that one loud car in my neighborhood. It's like clockwork. You guys, it drives me wacko. Anyway, we're also going to be using the Redwood stencil. And you've got the 2 redwood trees, so we've got like a traditional pine and an elk, and then this does a nice hillside. I'm probably not going to use this hillside today. And then we're going to use my favorite stencil of all time. This is by Color from Life, and it's a cloud edger, and it just does all the different shaped clouds. So let's get to making our background. Judy's doing great, she says. That's awesome. Glad to hear it. What am I looking for? So we are going to start with our rays first. And we're going to have those start kind of in the middle on the bottom third. So the tent is going to be kind of covering that up. And I'm going to use my magnets to hold this down. And we're going to do this as a daytime theme. So let me grab this. So one thing that I saw, I follow along with Stamp Junkies on Facebook. They all asked, everybody always talks about storage. Every group I'm in, and there are some groups that are more so than others. Show me your storage, show me this. And they were like, these are all too top heavy and for brushes and stuff. So honestly, I use my good old coffee cup. So I have a set of brushes for pigment inks, one for dye inks, and one for distressed oxides, because they're a hybrid. But I use coffee cups. Now this happens to be from Jen Dell's boot camp, because I attend quite often. So I'm going to grab a yellow brush. This one, my brushes are pretty brand new at this point. So Lisa says that she's got pizza incoming. We ordered from our pizza joint last night, and there's that car again. But we got hoagies. Maybe there's more than one car that needs a tune-up in my neighborhood, because that was like 2 back-to-back. But I don't understand why they have it so loud. So Let me grab another magnet. I'm not going to go all the way up with these rays. In fact, so that I don't move it, I'm not like swirling, I'm kind of pushing the ink. Judy says she can't remember the last time she had pizza. I had pizza, I personally probably had pizza maybe 3 weeks ago. And I guarantee you, you know what, it was, because it was when I was traveling. I went to Texas for a 2-day trip. Anyway, I'll have pizza again next weekend when I'm on the road going to Florida for our scrapbook expo. So my glass board is magnetic, which is why I was able to use those cute little prawn whatchamajiggers magnets, excuse me. Words are hard today. So I'm going to be very honest with you all. I honestly thought of every reason to cancel my my live today. I have not been feeling very good, and I really kind of wanted to bail, and my husband said, you know what, you should just do it. So here I am. I'm being a good girl, and I'm going to come hang out with you guys. So just, if I end up cutting this short, which honestly, with all the stuff that I have planned for this card, it should probably be a long live. But if we cut it short, we'll pick it up the rest of the card later. Alright, so that was the first one. So that just gives you a nice little line of clouds. And now this is where I'm going to come in with my bubbly clouds. So you notice I start on the stencil and I work up. See how that gives a nice illusion of a sky? I'm trying to decide, do we want like, we're going to do like maybe one more little section. Now this could give us some green, but with, so Judy, it's not so much that I'm sick. I have had insomnia really bad since November. So every time I go to bed, I am not filling my tank. I'm actually like always running on E. And I have been to the doctor and we're working on it. But in the meantime, it is quite frustrating. And I become irritable, and there are days that I've just, like I can be dead tired and I can be sitting in my recliner and I never fall asleep. My sleep study that I just had literally said that I don't sleep for 75% of the time. That I'm actually laying down during the study. So that's frustrating. You need that stencil in your life? Yeah, me too. So you can use any sun stencil that you want. I think this one was from Crafty Stamp Co., but I've got one from Tim Holtz. I've got one from Honeybee. I've got one from Waffle Flower. So I mean, honestly, use what you've got in your stash. So this is how this is going to kind of lay out. We are trimming down this, we are going to trim down this panel eventually to fit in with the rest of our card. So the tent is going to kind of go there. See how the sun's going to go behind it? Kind of smart on my end. And then we're going to use our little chippy. And we're going to put this little fire there because I don't know about you guys, but even if it's daytime, I tend to have a fire going when I'm on, like if I'm tent camping. There's just something about the smell of the fire and the outdoors. So I just want to show that you can use this stamp set for multiple ways. And then we're going to get into coloring this guy. And this is going to be where the most of our time is going to come from. But in the meantime, I am going to use this evergreen tree. Thank you. Words are hard. I told you words are hard. So first I'm going to use this evergreen bough, which is actually pretty green, or you know, like blue-green. It's going to be kind of surprising. And I'm going to put that kind of towards the top. And I'm going right over that sky, and I'm going right over that yellow. And apparently I made a boo-boo. That's why we leave them in, guys. We'll cover it up with something. And then I'm going to jig-jag it just a bit. And I'm going to come in with pine needles. Now, pine needles is a little bit, I don't know, it's pretty green too. Let's just hit it. See how we kind of got different colors going on? Kind of neat. That's driving me crazy that I made that. Oopsie. Let's see what else we've got. I'm going to take this smaller tree. I'm going to go right here in the middle. You notice I'm not cleaning anything off. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but you do you, boo. I do me on my lives. And this one is iced spruce. And I think I'm going to do that one more time. And I'm going to add a little bit of evergreen to it. Just on the corner. I don't know why. It just makes me feel good. So that's how that looks. Do we need a small one? Let's put that one in there. Let's use the traditional pine needles. And we'll just... Why not put like a Christmas tree looking thing in there? And you guys, we're done. We're done! Super easy with that background. So we've got the rays. And now we've got jelly bean colors and all the good things. So let me put this stuff away. And my inks. Now I reserve the right to come back and do some more. See, look, I've already changed my mind. I already have to put the brown in. So let me find my brown. We're going to use some vintage photo. I used to say years ago that I'd sleep when I'm dead, but I have to be honest with you, I would do anything to sleep right now. Like, get a real sleep. So I kind of went dark towards the bottom, and then I'm kind of lightly going up into the sunrise and into the trees, so that way they're not floating. It's funny the things that we say when we're kids. We're like, oh, we can sleep later. That's what we can do when we're dead. And now I just do that. All right. Hindsight's always 20/20, y'all. Always 20/20. Alrighty. So since I've already got that going on, I want to go ahead and cut this down. And this panel here is 3 1/4 by 5. So we're going to go a little bit darker, or a little bit smaller. Oh, that takes off a lot. glasses on top of my head, right? All right. Had something stuck on my trimmer there. All done with that. That was loud. So since this is a trifold card, I'm not going to do a whole lot of dimension like foam tape. So that's just water that I'm spraying on my glass just so that I don't contaminate my card or the stuff I'm getting ready to color. Alright, let's bring that back over. See how nicely that fits in? And this thing is almost gone. So we could use some vintage photo and kind of distress the edges. Hi, Jana. How did you fare? Lisa Albert, you're killing me with that question. Your stamps finally arrived. Good. How did you fare with the storms? Because I know you were worried about the storms and stuff too. In fact, it's pretty dark here. It looks like it's getting ready to let loose, which is... I let my 2 little dogs out and then realized that my husky hadn't been out to potty. So just because you got here kind of late, after their extended tour, courtesy of USPS, hate that. So we are using the Happy Camper set, which I've done a lot of winter scenes with and night scenes with, and then we're using Lumberjack. So we've got both of those. And then we built a scene. This card is for Craft Roulette, so the parameters were 2 folds or more jelly bean colors, so I'm using spiced jelly beans, and then markers and math. So I'm going back to like junior high when you had to do like geometry and you had to use rays and lines, so the sunlight is the rays. So that's how I'm that's what I did. And then I had to measure everything. So that's how that's going to pop out. I need to get on screen, so sorry guys. Anyway, I'm going to put that aside. We are going to color. And we'll come back to the card. So we're going to start with the Lumberjack because I think it's the hardest one to color. And I'm going to zoom in. There you go. Doesn't he show up nice on yellow? I finally found the color that makes me happy for you guys. Okay, let's see. Alright, so for him, we're going to start with our E04. I don't know where my Copic pen holder is, but whatever. So we're going to give a nice shadow here where the shirt overlaps, here at the fingers. There's a divot at the wrist, and I'm going to come around the bottom part of the arm as well. And I'm going to do that little divot there at the wrist, at the other side of the wrist. So then we're going to go to the fingers. And we're just putting those at the creases. We're going to put a shadow where the axe is in his hand, down the divot of the wrist. The artist did a little weird thing at the wrist, so we're going to follow what the artist did. Because I'm betting she knows better than I do. And then right here underneath his beard, where the neckline is, we're going to do the same thing with the hair. because the hair is definitely going to leave a shadow. My dogs are making their world known. They're scratching and itching, and they're being just their cute little selves. And then I'm going to do the inside of the ear a little bit. And I'm going to do this lip. In fact, I'm going to color that whole lip in. Alright, so he doesn't look like especially cute and sexy right now. Hi, Betsy. Good to see you, my friend. So my E11 is darker than my E21. You know what? I forgot to put some of the shadows in. There'll be a little bit of shadow there. Tiny one there and there. Okay. We're going to go in with the E11 because my E11 is darker than my 21. That might not be true for you, but it is true for me. So I'm kind of extending that shadow and pushing some of it back. And I gave him a little bit of a divot right there, so it looks like he's got some muscles. Following the divot of the hand, and I'm coloring in the fingers and right at the thumb. Gonna go around the thumb here, go around the arm. And I'm just extending everything that I just did. Alright, colored in the ear. I always forget the ears, you guys. So I'm kind of following all of my shadows on his face. Now, the artist started to draw in a little bit of the eye, but it doesn't go all the way down, so you have to kind of be careful to leave a little bit of white. And we're going to call that done. And we can extend that nose just a hair. Alright, next. E21. Because it's lighter than my E11. Which in Copic world, that should not technically be the case, but it is for me. So this is the mid-tone color, so I'm kind of bringing that in the most because that's what you're going to see the most. Now I'm giving him a little bit of I mean he's still a Caucasian, but like sometimes I'll go down to an E000. We're not going to do that with him because he's working outside, and I would think that he's either windburned, sunburned, or something, you know, from being out in the elements. And he's a camper. I mean, he's a tough dude, or he's a lumberjack, whatever you want him to be. I don't know, the first thing I ever did when I would go camping is we would have to go find firewood and chop it down. And believe it or not, in my younger years, I used to do primitive camping. I used to go four-wheeling all the time. Going to bring the light up on my, whatever, she said, spa, so I can go eat pizza with the hubby. Okay. Lisa, you don't have to hang out. You can go spend time with your man. And then I forgot to do his neck, so I'm putting in that E00. I'm going to do a couple swipes to fill in his face. Going to do the rest of the ear. That ears are in shadow over there. That's why I did that darker. Going to fill in the hand and the arms. And I purposely left it a little not so blended. That way he would look like he had a little bit of muscle in him. So under his neck, I am going to do a little bit of that E11. Alright. And y'all know how I feel about eyes, and you know that that's got to be done like now. trying to decide my colors. Alright, somebody's going to freak out here, but I'm going to use a YR. Let me see if I'm really going to do this. So when I say, am I really going to do this, I'm grabbing out another piece of coloring paper. I am coloring on the marshmallow coloring paper from Pajama Crafter Stamps. And so this is YR27, pretty orange looking. And then this is E35. And this is E29. So we're going to get a lot of dimension in that eye. Kind of scary looking right now. But I am going to do it. Sometimes I'll do a YR24. But I just want to go ahead and try to be scary. So the key to any type of coloring, whether it's, whether it's watercoloring, whether it's with Tombos, whether it's with a hoo-hoo, whether it's with Copic, Olo, it's the scary dark. The scary dark is what brings everything out. So that was what I'm going to call my midtone color. I'm only using 3 colors. And then I'm going to take this E29, which is a really dark brown, in the top third. I'm going to go right across the pupil. Kind of looks like there's no life there right now. I get it. Then I kind of blend that, and I use that E35. And then I'm going to come back with that YR27. Okay. We're going to let that dry before we put the sparkle back in his eye, because right now he looks kind of demonic, but that's okay. So my husband, Sean, who is, is Mr. Pajama Crafter, when he is mad, his eyes go almost black, and that's what that reminds me of right now. But this guy's not going to be mad. We are going to move on to his overall. So last time I colored him, we did him in a khaki. We're going to do him in a blue jean. And we're going to have some fun with him. So let's see if this is dry yet. So, alright. Let's bring some sparkle back to his eyes. Where's the white gel pen? I don't know, but we could always use the Sharpie. Alright, so now we're going to put a dot right there. And then that brings that eye to life. Now that's probably going to dry back a little bit, and we could come back over it with more ink, but we just need to let that dry. The other thing that we probably want to do with him is, I mentioned that he's a lumberjack, so he would have some redness to his face, so let's bring in this R12. Usually I do an R11 for a guy, but he's going to have some sun to him. And when I do a cheek, I actually take it up the side of the face. And I even rosied up his lip a little bit. Alright. Now we're going to do the jeans. So I like the B90 family for that. So I'm going to start with my B99. He looks a tad tired, kind of like me. So the artist put in a line here for his belly. His pants are kind of folded there. There's definitely going to be a shadow where that cuff is over. There's going to be a shadow where that hand is over his pants. Yeah, we could liven him up a little bit more if we had used like an R21, which I reserve the right to come do. things aren't done until I say they're done. You know what I mean? It's my project. And I'm gonna putting in a lot of shadow work here. There's going to be a shadow at the shoulder, and I'm going to go down this side. I'm going to put one there all the way down. And I'm going to put one kind of where the pocket is. And we can put just a little bit there if we want to. It's, you know, we're playing. So there we go. So that was the B99, or what I lovingly call the Scary Dark. Now I'm going to bring in the B97. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this down, and I'm going to color in that whole section there on the inside of the buckle. And now I'm going to come down here. I'm going to wrap around this little button, and I just colored inside the line that I didn't want to do, but that's fine. I'm extending that shadow. Okay. I'm really bringing in those curves, like, so it looks like the pants are rippled. And I'm going to go up the top here, just like we did on the other side. And I'm going to put a little bit across here too. And I'm going to kind of close this in a little bit on this side. And that's with the B97. So you kind of see how the clothes are starting to come together. So now we're doing B95. This is just basic blending tonight. And that gap where that pocket is, we just colored that whole thing in. We're going to do the same thing over here. I'm not going to get into the whole blendy thing. Because girls, we could go crazy trying to go crazy. If you wanted me to go crazy and do, like, you know, all kinds of textures and colors, this would be like a 4-hour video. And as I kind of said to you, that's not going to happen with my current situation. Okay. Making this up as I go. I'm going to go ahead and color in the rest of that strap. Or I'm going to put one more color in there. I need to bring some of this color into these folds down here by his knee, or I don't know, ankle area. I'm losing this right here. I need to come up the leg. Sometimes you forget stuff when you're on camera. Okay. Now we're going to go to the B93. And we're going to color most of this in with the B93. Just kind of let your markers, like the back of your marker, extend out those shadows. And I'm totally making these wrinkles up as I go. I'm going to color in the rest of that strap. So it's blendy, blendy, blendy. Okay. Jana says she loves watching me color. Thank you. It's one of my favorite things to do, to be honest with you. And now I'm just using this highlight color and I'm coloring all that in. I'm leaving that stripe on that pocket white. And I think we're good. So let's hurry up and do his boots because we're going to get the grays out. Alright, so this is a C10. So we're going super dark. I'm taking both caps off because we don't want it to blow up in our face. So where these laces are, I'm going to go just right across it with black. Technically it's a C10. Okay. Then I'm going to skip to C8. See. That was funny, I didn't feel good all day, and now that I'm on here coloring, I'm starting to feel better. It's amazing. I started this as therapy, it's something to do when I first started coloring. And it seems like it hasn't changed. Still makes me happy. C6, so I'm skipping, every other marker. And C4. Not the kind that blows up, just the marker. And I'm going to use a Y26 along these bottoms. We're going to pretend these are Doc Martens. Okay. I don't know what you wear, Doc Martens. Camping. I probably would. Use a W4. Kind of just going to tone them back. And we're going to call that done. So he has come together really well. Now let's go ahead and do this axe. It definitely does have a calming effect. I want to do this axe in black because it's going to be a black jelly bean. So I'm going to kind of do it this way. I'm going to kind of leave a middle shine. So you color right after a stressful day, Betsy. The other day I was in here, now mind you, I was trying to do some computer work, and I found every reason, that was C8, I found every reason not to work. In fact, I sat at this very desk because I not only color at this desk, but I do all the other stuff at this desk too. Because my other desk has a laser on it, so can't quite use that anymore. But anyway, I've sat and stared in outer space. The reason I'm turning this is it's much easier for me to color, like to do my flicks the way I want it, and it just makes it easier for me. Now, I am going to come in with a 2, a 1, and a 000. So for that blade, I'm going to kind of follow that same shaded area. Actually, I don't think we even need that C0. We can just leave it at that. Alright, you guys, I'm going to put some of this away. Now I'm just going to put it behind me. Alright. For the axe, we're going to do the axe and the hair pretty much the same color. So we are going to use an E53. We're going to kind of cheat. Betsy says she's going to be right back. And I'm going to color the whole thing the highlight color. We're just going to get her done. Probably need to change that tip on that marker. It's a little too wobbly. So there's going to be, this is the E59 now. So there's definitely going to be a shadow where this shirt color is. I've got something on my nib. And where the hand is. And down underneath. And where that is. Okay. So that's the shadow. Okay. Let's put a little bit bigger one right there. Okay. Now we're going to use the other two to start putting the texture of the wood in. I smelled dinner in the oven. So Sean must have just gotten home. God love him. I'm so lucky I found a man that likes to cook. What does it say? Oh, don't see your, hey Jana, hey, back to you. Okay. Judy and Jana were saying, exchanging hellos. And when I have my reading glasses on so that I can color, I have a very hard time seeing the screen on my iPad to see what you guys are actually saying. Good old eyes just aren't the same as what they used to be. And if you want to age this axe a little bit, you can come in with this W4 that I already have on my desk. And you can just add some distress to it. And that just darkens that up, makes it more realistic looking. Now he's starting to come alive. You notice I'm not doing his hair because I'm totally not in the mood to do hair today, you guys. Especially not on camera. What color would you, never mind. We are going to make it matchy-matchy. Are we? Yeah, we are. We're going to do his shirt green because I always go with red, and I already have red on the card, and you guys know that I always do green. So we're going to start with this YG99. And there's definitely a shadow there. There's definitely a shadow there. There's one there. And there's like a divot where the artist had drawn in some lines for the shirt. Tell me, if you guys in the comment, do you like it when the artist draws in the wrinkles so you kind of know what to extend, or do you like to put your own in? Always, whenever I'm looking at artwork for stamps, that's always my biggest, do I want those in there? Do I not want those in there? Me personally, I would rather them almost not be in there because I like to draw my own. I like to get my clothes movement, like however I feel deemed that day. But when I first started coloring, I liked them to be in there because I had no idea where to put them. So I see both trains of thought. Jana says, you just remind me to order more nibs. Oh my God, you gotta order nibs. The best thing you can do with your markers, do as they say, not as they do, is to clean them, like quarterly. And by clean them, I'm talking about those caps. That one's actually clean. Clean this part. And then weigh your markers. Get yourself a jewelry scale that weighs in grams and fill them to like 14.3, 14.5 if you've got actual Copics. I'd have to look up the measurements for a chow. I can't remember it off the top of my head because I got rid of all of my chows a long time ago. But this crap that's out on the market where they say, or out on the internet where they say to put 40 drops in is total BS. And you're just going to ruin your marker. And I've also heard that there are people who like them underfilled because they think that they won't blob. Honestly, if you take care of your markers and if you live in a humid area, then just take off both lids and you're not going to have them blob. But this crap where people tell you to underfill them or do 40 drops is totally wrong. It's 14.3 to 14.5 grams of ink, and you should measure it with the lids on. So like when I don't know where my scale is. I think it's downstairs in the kitchen actually. But anyway, you just put, like, say if this is the scale, you put both lids on and you keep refilling until it measures 14.3. I could look up those numbers for you. Jana, just remind me. I think I want to say it's 12 or 13. I don't know. Don't listen to me right now. I don't know the answer. I really don't know the answer. So this is YG95. I think I have one chow left. That's in my backup marker bin. How blessed am I to be able to say that I've got backups to Copics when at one point I didn't even know if I could afford the whole set. And to be very truthful with you, I got most of my Copics when Hobby Lobby put them on clearance. Otherwise I probably would not have been able to afford them at the time. But I have had to replace a few because I was dumb and didn't have the lids on right or had them underfilled, that kind of stuff. Oh, is Justine on here? Hello, Justine. So we are making a card for that is the craft roulette parameters. So it's jelly beans color, so we're using spiced jelly beans. It has to have more than 2 folds. And you have to use markers and you have to use math. So we are using rays from the sunshine, like big geometry. Well, you're a teacher, you know. And then I just colored that in. What do you think of him? Now for the darn hair. God, just be with me is all I gotta say. Just be with me. So, just for those that have just jumped on, I did a Z-fold card with some of the, reds and browns. I stenciled the Redwood Forest on. I used the sun rays in the background to meet that requirement. And I also did clouds. And I grounded it with the ground, vintage photo. So this is what the card looks like so far. Yay! The dude is looking awesome. So here's the thing. First of all, thank you. Here's the thing. I love coloring hair. I hate coloring hair on lives, and that's because it's because I need to hover over. I need my head to be hovering to see it correctly, and if I'm hovering, then I'm like in the camera, so you guys can't see it. So what I have found as a trick. And I forgot to color this little part of the axe, so I just put my 5-5. And so if I start with my mid-tone color, if I'm not sure of my strokes, then I can go over that, and I won't have as many thick lines. So I'm kind of mapping out where the shadows would be. Because the thing is you're going to see the mid-tone color the most, so why not start there? Because then I kind of get an idea what I want my hair to look like without like completely screwing it up. And I don't know, we're going to go ahead and do the E5 all the way across his eyebrow, and we'll give him some texture there too. So there's going to be a few strokes there at the point. Now for his beard. And mustache, I'm kind of just doing little tiny strokes. I'm not going to get blendy with it. If you want to, you can. But that's as good as it's going to get. Now I'm going to come back to this color, and then I'm going to go with my E57, which is my second darkest color. See, I'm wanting to hover. I'm really wanting to hover, you guys. It's killing me. Hey, Justine, not tonight, but on your lunch break tomorrow, if you could message me so we could get our final details for Stamp Wars worked out, so I can get that sent out to you guys, because I completely forgot. Crafting on with you now, yay! So does anybody else craft along while we're doing these, or do you guys just watch and talk? Just curious. If you're new to the channel, which I don't see too many new ones, but if you are, I would love it if you would like, comment. I would very much love for you to subscribe. So Justine is kind of our video person. So you'll see her do a lot of videos on our channel, and I do a lot of the lives. If my design team wants to do some of the lives, I absolutely do it. But she is like the genius behind all the videos and stuff. She comes up with all the neato things and whatever. She does a lot of foiling. She does a lot of like watercolor. She does it all. She's like the jack of all trades, and she's good at them all. So, but I'm kind of like I'm always the last one to get anything done. So on our team, because I'm doing everything else for the company, that I usually go live. So now this is my lightest color. This is my E53. Notice I haven't come in with that scary dark yet. I'm working up to it. With this, I'm just dotting in or stippling. Alright. Now, you guys, I'm going to come back with a lot of these colors, because again, I'm trying not to be a scaredy cat. Now, this is the E59. You're going to notice he starts to come alive with the scary dark. Doing really tiny strokes here, you guys. going to do the E55. And see, with this being my mid-tone color, you can see I'm kind of like putting texture in and I'm brightening it up, but I'm not so worried about being too heavy-handed with it. Now that he's got some color, I am going to bring in the R2 one. Remember we used an R12 for the cheeks? I want him to kind of have a ruddy complexion. Alright, let's see. Oh, we need to bring in that 5-7 on his eyebrow. Just to break it up here. And I am going to bring in the E04, which is normally what I use as my scary dark for around the hairline, but I wanted his lip to be more pronounced. Now I'm going to go and grab that marker again, that Sharpie, and I'm going to kind of put a dot there. Gonna really brighten those highlights now. We should probably use that Y20. I don't know. I don't have it. It's back behind me. So I'm just going to use the Y28 to color in those buckles. You could get all kinds of crazy and put like a Y11 in there too to really make them pop like they're gold, but I don't know. I don't know if a lumberjack that's going to be smart in all the things. Let's see what everybody's saying. Yes, for sure, Lisa. Hi, everyone. If you could take a quick second to give the video a thumbs up, that would be great. Subscribe. Okay. Yay. And I'm going to give him, I don't know, some highlights in his hair, maybe. Maybe a little bit in his ear. Alright, so I think that's where we're going to leave him. So my God, we have a lot more color. So, where's the card? So we could put him on the card. Look at that. Now that's cute. Is that not cute? Let's do it. Cutting my foam tape. Now I am only putting that like where his body is because I think some of it's going to be hanging over the card. Now if that really drives you crazy that the marker's showing, you definitely could you could cut it a second time and then Lord, I told you guys I'm not thinking straight. You could back it so the marker wasn't showing through. There you go. What do you think? Isn't he darling? He's darling. He's darling. Okay, let's do the tent, and we're going to use the same greens that I put over here. Okay. So I'm going to put a shadow where these flaps are overhanging. And where it would gather. and over here, and kind of there, under the flaps, and under here. I'm also going to put it kind of towards the back side of this tent. This is some really professional coloring here, guys. Like, sometimes I do the coloring like this so you guys can see that, you know, you don't have to like spend 17 hours on a card. You just don't. If you want to, please do. YG95. I'm going to color that whole inside of that tent this Army Ugly green. And that back side of the tent. And this part that's under the flap. We're going to leave that one open. And then this is going to be our shadow color for this flap. Okay. Whoa, you can tell what time my iPad, everything changes to like an orange for nighttime at 7 o'clock. And it's like I looked up at my iPad, everything's orange. Like, whoa, my eyes are playing tricks on me. Did I skip a color? No. Alright, so now this is the YG. Now we need to put some of that in the back. 95. How quickly my mind goes. And I'm scrubbing over that color to make it blend. So you really should not move on from coloring until you get those two colors to blend seamlessly. Unless you want a harsh shadow for some reason. Now I'm bringing in the YG93. And this is going to be the majority of my color. So again, I'm really kind of scrubby. These colors aren't playing as nice together on a big scale like they did on the shirt, because the shirt we wanted it to be kind of streaky. And we'll fix that if we need to. Always a way to fix it. Usually it's called tip-to-tip blending. I'm just going to go back over that because these are translucent colors, so you can keep building them. And this is probably very wet, so you know it's not wet once it's not shiny, just so you know. And this is the YG91, which we did not use on the shirt. Again, really work over that line. Now this has a lot more alcohol in it than the darker colors, so I'm pushing that shadow back into the flap. So now we have a nice army green, and I'm going to kind of go over it a little bit in all areas. Okay. Let's see which one we're going to do next. Let's do let's do this some more, Bear. And we're going to do him the same color as the hair. So he's going to have a nice shadow under his arm. He's going to have one here because it's on his back side, because the fire is going to be in front of him. And I'm going to give him a little bit there. I'm going to kind of do this. Now he's going to have a little bit of a shadow there. And this arm's going to be in shadow, but you have to remember we're going to have the fire, so we have to be we kind of have to pay attention to the shadows. So we can do a little bit there. And I'm going to kind of close this in a little bit. And I'm going to do his whole tail in that color, because we can add some fluff to him later. And a little bit more there. This ear. Okay. E57 is next. Bringing in a lot of that. My E57 likes to get sticky. So once you get sticky, you kind of pat your finger over it and it'll take that shine. Now it's because I let it get too dry at one point. So some of that kind of built up into my marker. I am probably at some point going to buy a new E57. Just because I want my ink to be the color I want it to be, you know, or not to be sticky. That green will look good with the red tones. That's the plan. Thinking like Christmas. And we have to kind of come in this way. Okay. E57. Or 5-3, or 5-5, excuse me. So that's way lighter than those other colors. So sometimes you kind of have to scrubby. And if you need to come in and stipple and add texture, you can. Okay. It's like a hot mess right now. This is the E53. This is kind of bringing it all together. Coming back to E57. Kind of stippling in there. mixing something here. That's for sure. So I'm taking that E55 and I'm going over the stippling so we get a little bit more of a blend. And we're going to give this some more, just a little bit of toastiness. Okay. That was the 5-5. Gonna come in with this 5-3, finish off the hand. Don't love how I did this right here, so we're just not sure why I did such a dark line on that snout. So you just keep working it. I'm gonna kind of make it. Kind of soften that line a little bit. All right, so he's done. We're gonna do something real simple here. Real simple. We're gonna come in with a Y15, and we are gonna say, "Don't feed the bears." Can even color the outside of that. I think he's making potatoes. I think I smell fried potatoes downstairs. And I think he's doing that because I think he's going to try to knock me out with dinner since I didn't sleep last night. And I'm all for it. I'm all in, you guys. And I just added a little bit of dimension. All right. So we've got those 2, 3 done. Let's see. The fire. All right. So let's do the same thing. I'm going to use the same colors as we did with the s'more bear. Now, in reality, the part closest to the fire would actually be the lightest because it's closest to the fire. Not rocket science here, but yeah. This is my scene. This is the 5-5. I need to find the 5-7. And we'll just dot some color in. And be done. And I'll take this Y19. I'm kind of dotting that in. Gonna grab a YR09. YR04. Y19, gonna brighten that up. Because if you look at fire, it all has all different colors in it. You could even add blue in there if you wanted. The dog is crying, wants to go downstairs. The door's not open. I'm going to use like my marker here, and I'm just going to add some little doodads. I'll let that dry. That marker was extremely good. And let's see, where's the other bear? Let's get Chippy done. Chippy, Chippy, Chippy! Chippy! I will get some rest. It's fine. We're all good. It's all fine. And we're going to do that bag blue because we're going to do a blue jelly bean. Why don't we use the colors we used for the jeans? Alright, so I'm going to color the whole bag with this B91. It's our lightest color. Going to come in with B95, and I'm going to color the whole inside of that bag darker. And then I'm just going to put like a little bit of shadow here. And there. Going to continue to going to blend it and then come back in with that B91, and we're going to call that done. So then we have some continuity to our chips and with our jeans. Now for the bear, what color do I want him to be? Let's make him the E40 family. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm picking this, but I like it. So E49 is our darkest color, and he's going to have a shadow there where the belly's and the bum is, and where that foot's overhanging, and where that bag of chips is, and on this part of the arm. Shadow there, there. Okay. I don't know where that E09 came from, but I would have been very upset if I had grabbed that. Wow. And we're going to do this little hand here in the E47. We're going to extend this out. And we're going to start to fill this in. Do that tail in the E47. We can add texture there if we want to later. E44. So I'm going to start to color in that arm. Fill this in a little bit more. Hoping my little head wasn't in the way. Sorry if it was. foot. I'm just going to color in that little hand. E43. Scrubbing that to get rid of that line. Blendy, 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 blendy. Keep blending. Okay. Okay. And E42. For the highlight color. So you saw I didn't like that spot, so I kept using this. This has the most alcohol out of the colors we used, so I just used that to bleach it out. I'm kind of doing the same thing here a little bit, pushing that ink. And there we go. Now we have a little chippy. Alright, now to take my glasses off. Okay, so we're going to get rid of that yellow piece of paper. I am going to zoom out so we can see the rest of the card being made. So let's... Alright, so we're going to start building our scene. Okay. So I'm kind of putting that there to hide that spot where the ray came down. Gonna put him right there, so let's glue this sucker down. It would have helped if I would have put my pin back in my glue. Or put it in my cupcake so it would have been upside down and ready to go. Okay. Gonna take some foam tape and pop him up a little bit. Now I use really thin foam tape. So it's not going to cause a big issue. And I'm going to put him all the way to the edge there. Okay. Now I'm going to put the fire like there-ish. Now I'll put it right there-ish so I can cover up that spot. Because you know that was making me mad. Okay, where is the s'more bear? I'm going to put him like that. We are popping him up because he needs dimension. I'm not gonna cut all the light pieces where the s'more is though. We're not gonna go that crazy. Oh my god, you guys, that is so freaking cute. Oh my, that's cute. That's cute. Alright, so I think we do need a sentiment. So we could do a damn good day to celebrate, or I don't know if I read you the sentiments. We do have that, we do have that don't feed the bears. So we could put that like tucked. We could actually put it right there. Let's see, so the sentiments that come with a happy camper say, a bad day camping is still better than a good day working. Happy camper, not here for a long time, but a good time. I like that too. I think it would be fun to say a damn good day to celebrate. Now, always do as I say, not as I do. But you know I don't want that. I just want that. Wish I would think about things. So I have a Misty that does not have a pad in it. And that's because I do things like this, or I make decisions after the fact. So so if I take the pad out, then I have a little bit more room to do the things I want to do. Is everybody going to hold their breath? Because I am. I want to see if this looks straight. Nope, it's crooked. Alright, sorry about my head. Everything that could go wrong on live, I'm doing. Here's my head. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. If it's crooked, we're going with it. Oh, it is crooked. One more time, I'm standing up. If you guys, you can't, well, I can't tell, it looks like I'm just wearing a black shirt, but I'm actually already in my pajamas. I took a shower and went straight into my pajamas before the live. So I'm using Versatile Fire ink and making sure that that's in place, and that is a magnet holding that. Got to do some CPR. Because I don't have a pad in there. Damn good day to celebrate. What do you think? It's a little bit, it's a little distressed. I'll come in with a multi-liner and do that later, but I don't want it to, smear. So I think that was pretty decent for an afterthought. And then I think that we should do, I don't know why, but I feel like we need a little sentiment over here. So I'm going to put this to the side so I don't smear it. I'm going to grab this. What do I have? Yeah. So what I'm going to do, so that it matches something, I'm going to grab my ink and whatever's on here. I'm going to stamp on. That way it at least kind of blends in with what our background look like. And if I don't like it, we're not going to continue with it, but if I do, we're going to keep it. You know what I mean? Linda's saying, awesome card. Justine says, do you, girl? Girl, I gotta do whatever I gotta do today. Just to survive. Alright. So I'm going to use the guide on my trimmer to try to get this somewhat straight. So by that, what I'm saying is this plastic piece, I'm going to line up right at the bottom of off, and I'm going to whack it off. Now we know that that's the square side, and now I'm going to line this up with the R, because it's the part that sticks out the most. I'm going to whack that off. Now that's the square side. So now I'm going to go to the rock, and at the top of the K, because it's a moving sentiment, I'm going to line that up with that K. Now with the Y, because now all pieces technically should be square, but it doesn't look like they are. That should be done. Alright. I don't love this, you guys. I'm not going to lie. So, with my multi-liner, my dogs are looking lines right now. They're like, Mom, enough! They're like, Mom, we've been in here too long. So, I might draw some lines in here. And we're going to see if we like this. We're probably leaving this off. Does that add anything to that card? I don't know that it does. Somebody's going to have to tell me no, because I don't think it does. I think it looks like poo. It's not my favorite. I think we should leave it on. Let's see. I'm just using whatever's left on my vintage photo. Janice, let's leave it off. What do you think now with the brown? I think off, because I don't think it matches the card. I don't think it does anything to the card. Anybody else have any, So I've got 2 votes for leave it off. So we're leaving it off because I don't love it. Alright, so that's the card so far. And if we want some bling, I put all my bling away, you guys. Which is, I'm not complaining, it's a good thing. I think the only bling I'm going to use is a red heart. Because my imagination tells me that these guys are in love. I don't know. I try to write a story in my head about these characters sometimes. Yeah, everybody said, leave it off, leave it off. Okay. I shall listen to the crowd because that was my gut too. I told you sometimes I can't cut anything straight or line up anything straight, and that was my proof. There we go. I don't really think it needs any more. So, that's my card for tonight, you tell me. I wish that the damn good day kind of was hidden, but, you know, you can only do so much. So, alright you guys, I'm going to go grab dinner, and you make the fire embers going up, make the bling look like embers going up. Like, what color, Lisa? Oh, I know what I'm going to do. This hasn't been released yet. It may not. But I did this for a make and take. These are just teeny, 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 tiny little diamonds. I mean, they're so tiny, like, my glue dots are going to be bigger. Oh, I have exciting news. I ordered all kinds of bling. And it's going to be a while before it gets here. But it's very pretty. All different colors. That one just wanted to stick to my wand. Ugh. Yeah, we're not bringing this size in. This was like what came with the bling that I actually used for make and take, and it's so small that like you can't even get it to release off the wax. It's way too small. Which is why I didn't put it in the mix. But they're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. You know what I should have done? I should have just sprinkled it on there. There you go. Sometimes you just have to let it go. See how sparkly that's going to be once that glue dries. That will dry clear. Alright, that's all that I have for tonight. Use it for shakers. Yeah, I will save it for shakers. I'm not going to sell it though. I had bought a mix and I had thought that those were way too small. And now that I've used it out of life, they absolutely are. But they were fun for what I used. Okay, so there's our guy. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for hanging out with me. I think I knocked my camera, so there. Thank you for hanging out with me. It's been a great night, you guys. Actually, as much as I didn't want to come out and play tonight, I'm so glad that I did.